Brightburn is directed by David Urovesky, and is produced by James Gunn and his brother Brian Gunn. And this stars Elizabeth Banks, Matt Jones, and among others. And this is basically a kind of, well, it's an original story, but it's basically if you took Superman and turned him evil.
Yeah.
It deals with a similar...
In a small
town called Brightburn.
No, in a small town, Brightburn, but with the Smallville.
Similar to Smallville.
Yeah.
Yeah. And basically it tells the story of a boy who was actually from somewhere else that comes down and
from
a spaceship and comes to Earth, and this couple that live on a farm, they who are our Papa Kent and Mama Kent equivalents. They take care of him throughout the years, and he grows up to be a boy who is trying to fit in with society and everything. And one day, basically,
the trailers
kind of show you. Basically, something happens to where
that red
thing from the spaceship calls him, and he starts to become fucking evil.
Yeah.
And that's when he pretty much wreaks havoc, like you see in the trailers. We'll leave it at that because we really don't go into spoilers. Now, here's some backstory. Now, as we said, this movie was produced by James Gunn, and it got me curious from the trailers because from the previews, it made it seem like it was kind of like
it started off like Superman,
like Man of Steel, like same kind of vibe, like same title fonts and everything.
I see the title Brightburn. I was like, click, and I thought it's like, what's this? And then it started really going with the title font and the music
and the atmosphere and everything.
I was like, Hans Zimmer. It sounds like Hans Zimmer did this.
Yeah.
I'm like, holy shit, is this another Superman?
Yeah.
And just like a remake, but then focusing on just Smallville only. That's what I thought it was.
Is this a fucking prequel?
And like in the middle of it, then it starts turning and getting dark. And I will tell you right now, let me talk about this real quick. James Gunn is like one of my favorite directors, and I'm going to go into a little bit detail why. Anything he's attached to, I get hyped for because this man reminds a little bit about myself. He's the kind of guy I could relate to. And this comes with other films he's done, like that one he did, Belko Experiments. The guy takes something, I'll sit and I'll come up with twist ideas. You'd be like, damn, you got a fucking weird mind.
Yeah.
And I always talk to him about, that'd be kind of cool to see what if Batman was Jason Voorhees, or what if, like this one, Superman is killing everybody instead of good.
Yeah.
James Gunn takes that fucking mindset and he uses them and he makes a movie out of them. And he makes crazy shit.
Yeah.
And he's not like the other directors who have to go a formula. Well, I gotta make a romantic killer movie. I gotta make a standard slasher movie. I gotta make this. James Gunn, I really like him as a director, or even anything that comes out of his mind, because he likes to just make shit out of the fucking like batshit crazy.
Yeah, and he also started out that way too. Like back when he was doing writing, just writing only, he started doing stuff with like back in the 90s, we had a movie from Troma called Romeo and Juliet, and that film, like, I haven't seen all of it, but basically he took Romeo and Juliet and turned it into a grotesque fucking, like, out-of-this-world fucking movie.
And now in this film,
Slither.
Yeah, you got with Slither with the Night of the Creeps kind of feel. But what I really like about him, he does shit like this, and it's something that it's different from every other director. And I will say that, with this, and he had Chronicle back in 2012, which was really good. That was a evil super X-Men version.
Basically.
And I will say that with this and Brightburn, and James Gunn's like vision, I'm hoping we get to see more of these, like, what if you took Batman and made him in a slasher?
Yeah.
I would like to see shit like that.
That's what I would too. And going into it, I was already, hyped as it was.
I was really hyped for this, man.
And upon seeing the film, I can say that to give this right now, like as a slasher film, this movie really definitely served its purpose. As a movie, it could have been a lot better, but I still enjoyed it for what they did with it.
It could have been a lot better. It was good. It was really good. I mean, not really, but it was good. It was a good movie.
Yeah.
I will say that there are some flaws I'm going to pop up in my cons I'll tell you about, go into detail as best as I can without spoiling it, because some of it I can't really talk about because it could spoil it. But I will say that Yeah, it was good. It was good. It was actually, I wish, like you said, it could have been better.
Yeah. But to get my pros out of the way, the cast I thought were pretty good.
Yes.
Like the two people I think that carry this movie the best is the main boy.
Yes.
I forgot the kid that plays him,
good.
but he was really great. He really, is very. He kind of reminds me like on a different level the kid from The Prodigy, that we saw earlier this year.
That's what's weird. It's kind of like Prodigy in a way.
Yeah.
With the whole talking in the head and the speaking in tongue thing that
And
happens in the movie. I'm like, damn, this is just like Prodigy, but like a superhero version of that.
Yeah, and then you got Elizabeth Banks, who I've I've always admired as an actress, and she really brings not only a great emotional side to herself in some scenes, but she really carries this movie on her own.
Yeah, and that boy, like you said, he's fantastic.
And
the rest of the cast is great.
Yeah, and it was also cool seeing Matt Jones, you may remember played Badger from Breaking Bad, was in this. Yeah. It was funny. I was like, oh, so that's where he went after Jesse disappeared.
Yeah, everybody's like, a lot of people ain't memorable in this, but everybody done their part.
Yeah.
So.
And the other strong point I had to say the most is, man, this movie gets fucking brutal as shit.
Like, this blew me a fuck away because I was kind of this is why I love the Gunn brothers. The Gunns, when they're involved, they won't shy away from fucking not using gore. And had this been any director, I think it would have been watered down, and that would have pissed me off because this film's brutality was actually more than what I thought it was going to be.
Oh yeah!
Oh my god, damn!
Yeah, it was like
practical effects of some of the shit they do in this film. It's like, holy fuck! Now, yes, like somebody said, and when I was talking to somebody earlier about it, it would have been cool if they would have did more. Because they do use it minimum, but when it's there, it's fucking there.
It's on the level of like some of the Hatchet movies.
Oh my god, you're talking about jaws being torn to fucking shreds.
You're seeing eyeballs popping out
and being hit so hard with force that they explode.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
gruesome, man. And the other thing I got to admit too is the way that the film also, on a directional standpoint, kind of had some throwbacks to like old school John Carpenter feel. Like there's actually scenes where the boy is like going to like sneak up on people. Yeah. There's actually shots that remind me out of John Carpenter's Halloween. Yeah, which I thought was pretty effective.
I'll go into detail on that, which I fucking loved. This film, while there is like you do jump, but you jump in a good way. It's not that stupid trope shit that you see all the fucking time.
The music screams in and all that.
You just like this girl walks in a dark room. There ain't nothing going on but silence, and you see red eyes. Or like her flipping one thing, you see him in a corner, and he's standing there like the fucking shape, and that is fucking creepy as shit.
Yeah, I like that.
They did fucking great. That's probably one of the strongest points in that other strong points of the film.
Yeah, absolutely.
The suspense, the intense when shit goes down, man. I will tell you right now, it gets pretty fucking. It gets kind of like nerve wracking on some scenes, man. They did very well on that.
Plus, the other big thing I will say too is not going to give away the ending, but when it gets to something toward the end, I will say I actually thought it was pretty unpredictable the way I thought it was going with. And
I thought it was going to be that typical.
Like how it ends.
Yeah, where you defeat. Just keep it at that because don't want to spoil it, but I mean, it just makes you wonder what they could build out of this. Oh, another thing, I gotta get that whole thing with the
that voice.
That kind of reminds me something out of Evil Dead with the Necronomicon.
Yeah, definitely. I was thinking of that too.
Like fucking evil. I'm like, hold on here. Is this like a Evil Dead movie or is this a sci-fi movie? Because that whole thing talking to him, it's creepy as fuck, but it's like, damn, it doesn't feel sci-fi-ish. It almost feels like a demon.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking.
And it's like, that's actually kind of cool, but it does it kind of strays away from what it was trying to do with the Superman thing. Yeah. But actually, and I love the red tone they go with this.
Yeah, where he's wearing the cape and everything. His eyes. Yeah. And that weird mask that he has. It's basically like a shoe or sock or whatever.
Well, it's it's basically you take a ski mask.
Oh yeah, okay, got you.
Yeah.
But yeah, now if we have here's where we get to some of our cons that we have. Yes. Now, as much as the movie does, really push a lot of the shit what this boy can do with it, I will say that while they do set it up with him doing this, I felt like the story could have been the mythology, like the way they build up to it and the backstory surrounding it, could have been a lot. They could have built more around it.
My issue with that is Keep going with your.
Well, and because we really don't know much about the boy other than the fact that he's from some other location.
Yeah, my issue was like they don't go in any explanation. They first of all, the whole thing where you saw the baby coming out there and then they're raising the baby and all stuff, that was in the trailers, but unfortunately wasn't in the movie, because when that happens, the movie starts, you see montages of him growing up.
Yeah.
And it's like, there was really no deep detail, because you literally do not know anything. It leaves out all backstories. Who is he? Where does he come from? What is talking to him?
Well,
what's controlling him? Why did they send him down there?
Well, not just that, but the way that this movie sets up the plot point with him being pretty much lured by this force, it's questionable, because it's never really explained like why 10 years or 12 years have passed and he's now becoming that.
Exactly,
that force
because if you see in the montage, they never go into it's not like, I think what they should have done was what they did with Prodigy, when through the montage, because Prodigy had the same kind of opening where they had the montage of him growing up in the credit scene, and that one it shows like the parents going, God, he's obviously strong, or God, he's too smart. This one, he has he's just a regular kid.
Yeah,
and it kind of makes me kind of question on the story plot aspect of the parents. When shit goes weird, the parents don't realize, they don't think about going back. Our kid came from outer space. Maybe it is him.
Yeah.
That is never brought up. They actually forget that happens, and he's a kid.
The dad brings it up.
The dad doesn't bring it up until, fucking 7 people die, and they still almost don't believe it.
Yeah.
I mean, they really are fucking dumbfounded. Maybe our kid is weird because he came from outer space. Oh yeah, he did come from outer space. It's like that kind of.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, it's like, did you not remember?
Yeah, and the other thing I will say is that while the film does, it does serve as basically a slasher version of Superman.
Yeah.
A lot of the things that you're digging into with the story, it is very predictable. It comes along, like when you see certain deaths happen, you know where it goes and everything. Now, besides one death that I won't reveal, almost everything that happens in place from A to B, it's pretty much, exactly what's going to happen. And while this is good with the way it works in that regard with the slasher genre, I felt like because we had a lack of really building on the background of his character and everything, and the fact that we really don't really dig into the motivational side with him either.
Yeah.
Is also why I'm sorry. The way that where he comes from, everything is a big factor into it.
Yeah. I explained that earlier. This film lacks any explanation of what he is, where he comes from, who's talking to him, who's controlling him, why did they want to do this. They don't go to any of that. They just throw him in the story, and then he just decides one moment, I'm just gonna be a fucking asshole. Yeah. And I don't know why. And it doesn't go, why I waited 12 years.
And not to mention, there's characters that are also in this film that I have to bring up that they actually kind of set up, but we never see them again after.
Yeah, let me bring this up. Like I was saying, the story of them, you don't understand what is motivation, because it doesn't tell you anything. It's just like he keeps saying, I want to do good, Mom. I really do. It just basically, it seems like anybody that fucks him over, he fucking starts hurting.
Yeah.
Which I can get that motivation because some people do some fucked up shit to him, so he pays them all back. And then this thing starts telling him to take over the world, and then I don't know, it's just like, it doesn't know if it's more revengeful to the people that fuck him over or backstab him or lie or whatever. It starts, but then that ending happened where those people didn't do anything to him.
Yeah.
So I don't get what it's trying to do. It gets lost in that. And now when he brought up another con, I will mention, they do this story in the first half, around the time he starts developing his powers a little bit more, and he gets to know this girl. And this girl, this ain't really a spoiler, it's almost like he's kind of like a whole fear type thing where he's getting
obsessed with her,
obsessed, likes her, and says, I'm going to handle him for you. To her mom, and she's scared shitless of him because her mom got pissed at what he did to her earlier in the plot.
Yeah.
And I thought he was going to go in this like thing where he was going to do a lot and then he's going to be obsessed with her and hurt her or something. She never comes back in the movie.
Yeah,
Like,
and there's another character
fuck?
that they bring up that is related. Is the sister of Elizabeth Banks' character, which they set up a sort of a plot point in the beginning with her, but after a certain event happens, which we won't spoil, we never see her again. Like, there's characters that come in here that we never fucking see after.
And not only that, what's weird is, like, it's weird how, like, Elizabeth Banks would never have brought up to her sister. That's her sister.
Yeah.
If I showed up at my brother's doorstep with a fucking 10-year-old boy or 8-year-old boy or 7 or whatever, a newborn, knowing that my girlfriend was never pregnant, you'd think she would question that and be like, I don't remember you being pregnant.
Yeah.
Where did he come from?
Exactly.
I mean, there's a lot that, you know, they keep this film such a minimum. I think what they were afraid of was putting too much in the film and it being over long, because that's another thing I have a problem with. I actually thought the film was way too short.
Yeah, it could have went a lot longer than what it should have.
I mean, it really is at an hour and 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Hour and 30 minutes, it stops.
Yeah.
And I will say, for what it's worth, that fucking ending, I don't know what they're trying to build, but also I will like to say I'm not going to spoil it because they actually try to do that on purpose. I do like the cameo by a certain actor who basically is playing the Alex Jones equivalent.
Yeah, pretty much.
There's aliens coming! And this actor has been in some of the gun films in the past. I'm not going to say who it is, but I liked his cameo.
Yeah, I thought that was great. So, but overall, though, I mean, given for what it's worth, I thought this movie really serves a lot great of what you can do with taking pretty much Superman and turning him into fucking Michael Myers.
Actually,
and I would love to see more of that.
Here's two things
in the future.
This film, I'd like to see what they can do with this universe because, you know, I'm not going to tell you what happens at the end, but I still want to see more. And then two, I want to see the Gunn brothers. I hope this opens up where people start taking new, fresh ideas like this.
Yeah.
Yes, it isn't fresh, but it's still clever. It's still fucking cool seeing somebody take something that you've loved and saying, what if they had a dark side?
Yeah. I mean, we have equivalent of that with Bizarro in the comic books of Superman, but this is like basically the anti-Superman, where Superman himself becomes fucking evil.
Well, anything under
like
DC, DC, Superman, and all them are never going to show you the gore they showed us.
Well, yeah, of course. But
so that's why the Gunn brothers wanted nothing to do with it, so they can watch people's insides getting torn to fucking shreds.
Yeah. So with that being said, I really did highly enjoy this film.
Yeah, it's an enjoyable film.
And with that, I'm giving the movie a compelling grade on the Film Phreeks meter.
Yeah, I'm with him. A compelling grade on the Film Phreeks meter.
Fair enough. For those of you who have also seen Brightburn, and let us know in the comments below what you thought about it. And if you like what you see here, you can feel free to like and subscribe to our channel. And check out some other reviews here and our website at filmphreeks.com. And we'll be seeing you in our next review.
Later.
We'll see you later.